Before anything today, I've decided I'm actually going to go ahead and put the bicycle in the PC. We don't really use it very much. I know I've said it's a good item, but I'm really not a fan of how it replaces the music in whatever area you're in, and frankly, it's just taking up bag space. Welcome back to another episode of Pokémon Generation 1. In the last episode, we went through Pokémon Tower, pretty much stormed it, got Team Rocket to leave, saved a bunch of channelers who were possessed by various ghost-type Pokémon, and caught our newest team member, Gaster the Haunter, who had a very fun time spamming Thunderbolt against everything on the top floor. This time, now that we have access to the Poké Flute in order to wake up sleeping Pokémon, we are going to be taking off from Celadon City. There are two ways we can go to our next destination. One is to the south of Lavender Town, and it may have made more sense to go that way first, but I'm going this way first because it's the shorter and easier way. Starting off here, we want to go ahead and use Cut on this tree. This isn't required, but this will make your life a lot easier. There's probably trainers up there? No, there's a double battle up here in Leaf Green and Fire Red, that's what I'm thinking of. How'd you get in? Good effort! How'd you get in? What Pokemon are you having use Cut? Okay. If we go through here, you can see a bunch of people on bicycles down there, which is not at all creepy. In here... Oh, you found my secret retreat! Please don't tell anyone I'm here. I'll make it up to you with this. HMO2. HMO2 is Fly. It will take you back to any town. Put it to good use. As she said, if we teach Fly to Ducks, which is the only Pokemon I will ever teach this to. In this playthrough, at least. And go outside and into the menu and choose Ducks and choose Fly. We can fly back to the front of any Pokemon Center we have been to. At least any of the ones in cities. Unfortunately, we can't fly in front of Mount Moon or in front of Rock Tunnel, but that's not a huge deal. We can just fly to Cerulean City, or Pewter City, to get to those caves. But yeah, this is just a very helpful move to have for navigational purposes, and it's... I mean, I was gonna say it's gonna be on Dux's final moveset, but no shit, it's gonna be on Dux's final moveset. Dux is our HM user. On top of that, there are some new encounters out here, but we aren't gonna be going over them just yet, because we have a bit of a special encounter first. We can get back through here. This Pokemon. A sleeping Pokemon blocks the way. We know how to wake this thing up. Use the Poké Flute. Snorlax woke up. It attacked in a grumpy rage. Okay, to be fair to Snorlax, if you played a flute directly into my face while I was asleep, I would also wake up and attack in a grumpy rage. Wild Snorlax appears at level 30. Let's go over this thing right now. Snorlax, aside from one more that outclasses it, is pretty much the king of all normal-type Pokemon. With gargantuan HP and attack and already having access to Amnesia to increase its special stat by 2 stages, there's almost nothing Snorlax can't do. Except land a critical hit. Snorlax doesn't really do that. Snorlax learns Body Slam through level up 5 levels after catching it, meaning you can safely use the TM from earlier on something else, and on top of that, Snorlax also learns about 2/3 of all the TMs in the game. Snorlax is such a good Pokemon that it's pretty much a staple of every single competitive team in Generation 1 and 2. It's an excellent switch into a lot of Pokemon. It can easily take down a lot of threats, including Alakazam, with little trouble, and hey, later on in the game through the use of TM, it can even explode. There's very little that Snorlax can't do, making it very easy to slot into any team. But it's not being slotted into this team because I feel like that's just a little bit too easy. Like, I'm using some pretty good Pokemon, don't get me wrong, but I'm going out of my way to, like, try not to use anything that's, like, in a super high tier competitively. Haunter is probably gonna be the well, no. Haunter is probably the second highest tier Pokemon I'm going to be using on my team now. I switched into Haunter. Oh my, it comes knowing Amnesia too, holy shit. This thing can learn Ice Beam. It can learn Thunderbolt. Like, it can put Amnesia to use right away if you want to catch it here, so be careful. Amnesia is one of the scariest status moves that a Pokemon can use, just because it raises special by 2 stages. With only one, look how much this Thunderbolt does. That much. This thing is only 1 level higher, and Thunderbolt is a 95 power move. I think you can see how strong that move is. Yeah, any Pokemon that gets access to Amnesia is pretty much guaranteed to be a really good, special attacker, and also a pretty good wall. Luckily, Nightshade can hit normal types despite being a ghost-type move, so Haunter is going to be pretty good for weakening Pokemon, especially like Snorlax that have both a high defensive stats, a high HP stat specifically, and a move to buff their special. This might be good, honestly. Let's try a Great Ball. Okay, nope. But it is still asleep. Try another one. Nope. But it's still asleep. Gaster's been, like, really effective as far as using Hypnosis goes. Hypnosis is one of the less reliable sleep inducers in the game. Just because, like, you know, it's not accurate, like, at all. I think it's the second least accurate sleep-inducing move in the game, with Sing only being a little bit less accurate. So it is a little bit surprising just how consistent Gaster has been with it. I know I am doing this correctly. I don't know why it won't stay in the ball. I don't even think I really needed to weaken it further there. There's a lot that goes into catching mechanics in Generation 1. See, since that shook more than 2 times, it was guaranteed to be caught because of how catching mechanics work. I'm gonna go more into catching mechanics pretty soon when we have access to all the different types of Pokeballs, but... Okay. Very lazy. Just eats and sleeps. As its rotund bulk builds, it becomes steadily more slothful. A weird amount of, like, long words there. Give a nickname to Snorlax. Nah, it's not a team member. Transfer to Bill's PC. There are 2 Snorlaxes in the game, as we know. There's also one south of Lavender Town. These are the only 2 in the game, so if you fail to catch both of them, you're out of luck. You can't catch Snorlax except through trading with another game. I'm gonna go ahead and heal at the Pokemon Center, just so, you know. Alright, what does the sign say? Enjoy the slope, cycling road. Let's head in. Excuse me, wait up, please. How is he doing that? How is he doing that? No pedestrians are allowed on cycling road. Trust me, you don't want to anger him. And then he just jumps back into place. That's awesome. Well, we'll worry about that in a second, but let's head up here. We're going riding together. I'm going for a ride with my girlfriend. How does this little boy have more game? Looked into the binoculars. There's a long path over water. How can you see that if that's looking north? Looked into the binoculars. It's Celadon Apartments. I'm not even gonna question it. I'll be here for hours. Excuse me, wait up, please. Now he's down here! This old man has immense power. No pedestrians are allowed on cycling road. But yes, they are. Yes, they are, though. But they are, actually. Yeah, they are. See, eventually, I sped up to 10 times just a little bit too early, but if you just keep trying, eventually they'll let you pass anyway. I have no idea why this happens, but it does. So we don't even need the bike in the party to get on the cycling road. Okay, we aren't on the slope just yet, so we have access to everything still, like, good control. Yeah, I want to keep Lamp in the front. Let's start fighting these people here. Biker wants to fight. He has a silly-looking haircut. And Grimer. Wait, I get a chance to show how silly this sprite looks when it's confused. Hold on. It just looks so silly with the confusion animation. I love Grimer's sprite in this game so much. Grimer, Coughing, Wheezing, and Muck are the Pokemon that bikers are most generally going to be using, so it's not going to be a big deal. Also, why did we get a crit the first time I used Ember? I wasn't paying attention. I was too busy, like, giggling like a fucking crazy person about the confusion animation. Coughing might look funny with it too, actually. Hold on. Let's see. It does look funny, but not as funny. Okay. I'm going to... I don't know. I feel like this might just be like me getting in my head too much, my own head about things too much when it comes to making videos, but I feel like I cut out way too many battles whenever I'm Let's Playing a Pokemon game. And I feel like a part of that is like, I have a weird aversion to dead air in videos where I'm just not commentating, which is fine. Generally, even if I'm not talking, I can just fill it with post-commentary, which I've done probably more than you realize. Gaster grew to level 30 from beating that Coughing. I feel like I gotta get over it, though, because a lot of these battles in this game genuinely are just the exact same thing over and over again. Nice bike! Hand it over! Not even in a big city and people are like this. Oh my god, okay, Cue Ball. The guy with the dick protector. These guys are called skinheads in the Japanese version, which was changed for obvious reasons because skinhead is kind of a term for, like, neo-Nazis. So, he could be worse, but he is pretty bad still. I think Gaster really does just destroy everything on Cycling Road. Coughing and Grimer can't really do anything to him. Machop certainly can't hit him. He doesn't even have, Foresight in Generation 1. Gaster is just a good choice for a Pokemon to pick up at this point in the game. It's almost like they placed Pokemon Tower there, knowing we were coming up on a portion of the game where a Ghost type would be really helpful. Huh. Come to think of it, maybe they did design this game. And not wasting the PP, just going for Nightshade to knock it out. Nightshade is a really good move, genuinely. Knockout! Like, imagine using Nightshade on Haunter. Haunter has 75 HP at base right now, so that's just a really good deal. Yeah, pedestrians are... no pedestrians? Okay, I'm sorry. Won't happen again. Alright. I went ahead to go heal real quick because, yeah. These guys, like, there's a lot of bikers here. I believe it's supposed to be like a street gang. There's even an optional side quest in Generation 3's remakes of Red and Blue, Leaf Green and Fire Red, where you get sent to this group of islands off the coast of the Kanto region. I don't know if that's exactly where they are, actually, but they're not in the Kanto region. But a bunch of, like a bicycle gang from Kanto goes there called, like, the Kanto Biker Federation or something, and they basically just harass everyone on one of the islands. And I don't know why it sticks out in my mind so much, but the Sevi Islands are some of the weirdest and also worst Pokemon content I've played in my life. But I don't know, there's something charming about that just initial quest with the biker gang. I think it's because in Generation 1, you don't really help a lot of people. You stop Team Rocket, obviously. Like, if we see Team Rocket, we're gonna beat the shit out of them, but I don't know, we don't really go out of our way to stop, like, common, like, street criminals or anything like you would in future Pokemon games, where if you see someone in trouble, it's your job to fix it, because police don't exist in Pokemon anymore, which, based, but also, I don't know. This guy is a Weezing. I almost said this is our first time seeing one. No, we've seen Weezing in Pokemon Yellow, but I think this is our first time seeing one in Red and Blue. Smog can't be used to poison Gaster, so that's fine. Will Thunderbolt one-shot. This thing is pretty high level. Yeah, not even close. Yeah, this is why I recommend personally taking both paths to the next destination, which is what we're going to be doing. We're going to be taking one and then taking the next in the next episode. You get some really good experience along these roads, and that's something I used to complain a lot about in Pokemon, is, like, you're always going to end up underleveled, which, trust me, is true. You will eventually end up being underleveled, but I don't know. I think as long as you keep up on fighting trainers, you can at least save up being underleveled until the end of the game. I'm feeling hungry and mean. Honestly, dude, too relatable. Well, if you were feeling hungry and mean, you could have at least done it with a slightly stronger Pokemon. I'll cut out this battle. Lamp beat that Machop all on her own. And grew to level 29. Still have a few levels to go before she gets her strongest move, but we will get there, goddammit. Lamp will one day become a, like, actual worthwhile team member. That sounds mean. Lamp has been worthwhile. Specifically when used to fight Erica. Alright, let's see if Lamp can solo this battle, actually. It's probably just gonna be a lot of spamming Ember, but it could be funny. Lamp took that as a challenge. She didn't even need the super potion I used on her halfway through. Don't make me mad! Buddy, I think I already failed that challenge that you just issued. Okay. There are encounters that we have to go over for routes 16, 17, and 18, which are the routes we are about to go down, so I'll go over those while we just go on down Cycling Road here. Because here comes the slope in just a second. Okay. We are now on a slope. The game will not give us full control of our bicycle. And if we read this sign... Route 16, Celadon City to Fuchsia City. Okay. Here are the encounters. Raticate is pretty much a worse version of Snorlax. Yeah, this was pretty unfortunate timing for it to come up, huh? At this point in the game, Hyper Fang is no longer a big deal. The main draw with Raticate is that it learns Super Fang, which halves the target's remaining HP. This can be a devastating move if you manage to get it off. Raticate doesn't learn it until level 41, though. Unfortunately, as a result of this, along with the fact it just doesn't get a lot of good type coverage through TM, there's not a lot to say with regards to Raticate. Use it if you like it, but otherwise just use Snorlax. The main draw with Doduo is that it gets early access to Drill Peck at level 30, the best flying type move in the game at 80 power and 100% accuracy. Doduo is fast and hits hard, but unfortunately, Doduo can't take any hits at all whatsoever. All it can really reliably do is use Body Slam to hope for paralysis and Drill Peck to deal with fighting or grass type opponents. There's not much more to say other than that it evolves pretty soon at level 34. Fearow has sky-high attack and speed and learns Drill Peck at level 34, meaning it pretty much immediately outclasses Doduo. It struggles with these same issues as every other normal flying type, those being specifically having extremely low variety in the types of moves it learns, but to make up for it, it uses the moves it does learn very well. It's an excellent user of Double Edge, Drill Peck, and Hyper Beam, and can use Agility to outspeed any foes that happen to be faster than it. The worst thing I can say about Fearow is that it's easily crippled by paralysis and otherwise just doesn't take hits super well, but hey, the same can be said for almost every flying type in the game. These battles have taken longer than I thought. This is the first battle on the, downward slope to Cycling Road. I knew they were gonna be, pretty long battles just because some of these guys are using Wheezing already, but I was not expecting one battle to take almost a minute and a half. Crash and burn! Is that, you yelling at me, or is that what you're doing right now? I'm going to be cutting out a lot of battles here, aren't I? There's no money in fighting kids. Well, I have to give you money if I lose, man. Maybe you just suck at battling. Mankey. Cue balls appear to be fans of using fighting-type Pokemon, at least. Also, this Mankey just used Focus Energy, and I think that's funny. Karate Chop has an increased crit rate, and that's effectively nullified by using Focus Energy. This guy appears to have put me in a slightly compromising position. He heard me talking shit, and decided I have a Primate. This is probably one of the best fighting types in the game, to his credit. But also it doesn't stand... Okay, well, if it wakes up on the same turn, it does stand a chance against Gaster. But I actually don't know if Primeape learns any moves through level up that can actually touch Gaster. I know it learns Seismic Toss through TM, but I'm not sure if Seismic Toss actually works on Ghost types. It probably does, because Nightshade works on normal types, but... Huh. Took the Primeape out no problem, but it was intimidating to see that. And Gaster grew to level 32 already. Burned out! That happens, man. What do you want, kiddo? Are you Irish? I know kiddo is a thing people say everywhere, but I just associate it with Irish for some reason. Oh, what do you want, kiddo? This guy is a Machoke. These guys genuinely aren't messing around. They have some, like... I mean, not strong Pokemon. Weezing and Machoke are both pretty bad, actually, but... I don't know. It's strong in single player when we've been fighting mostly unevolved Pokemon up to this point. Whew! I agree. I just used my last Super Potion, so I hope there are not too many more trainers here. Also, Gaster has already overtaken Umi and is getting close to overtaking Haket and Annabelle in level. I think I used Gaster a bit more than was probably necessary. But, I don't know. It's a good Pokemon. Like, Haunter is just a really good Pokemon. I don't usually let myself use Pokemon that are as good as Haunter is, just because I feel like it's boring and it's a Pokemon that a lot of people are going to use. But in Generation 1 specifically, I think there is merit to using Haunter when there wouldn't be to using Kadabra in that sort of set. Oh my, of course you're going to explode turn 1. And that will probably knock out Lamp. Not quite, but it was close. Okay. It's gonna explode. The first one exploded, surely this one will too. Umi has high HP. Screech, oh my god. This guy just wants to cause problems on purpose, and I respect it. I respect it immensely. Grounded out! Man, you were the guy who sent out 2 Pokemon and ordered them to explode immediately. I got my Voltorb at the abandoned power plant. That's feasible. We haven't been there yet. But that's a hint, I guess. My Pokemon won't evolve. Why? Well, let's see. Let's see what Pokemon he's got. It's a Machoke, isn't it? Yep. He doesn't know. These guys' Pokemon are actually higher leveled than all of ours. At level 33, like, our highest level is 32, and that's, like, most of our party, but... Wow. These guys are tougher than I thought. Lamp grew to level 31 for meeting that Machoke. Why you? Sorry about the awkward cut there, had to check on something real quick. I'm not holding any buttons right now. You genuinely just go down Cycling Road that fast. Be a rebel! You know what? I like this guy's attitude. Let's see if I like his Pokemon too. Probably not, judging by the fact- well? You know what? I'm pleasantly surprised. I was gonna say judging by the fact he's a cue ball because they usually use Machoke or Machop and I don't like either of those Pokemon, but he threw out Primeape. And I do like Primeape. Primeape is a good Pokemon. Although, unfortunately, it doesn't evolve until Generation 9, which, like... They really had to go 8 generations without letting this guy get better. Luckily, when he does evolve, he actually becomes a very good Pokemon, so... At least he's got that going for him. Oh. And he soiled it. He almost had a perfect 10 party. Just Primeape would have been perfect 10. And then he threw up the Machoke. I already don't like Machoke. Here's what Machoke is supposed to look like. I already don't like this at all. And then they make this sprite for it. and I just hate it. Like, it somehow manages to make a design that I hate even worse. Arg! I agree. Where's this dude's bike? Also, what is the crotch guard that they have? It's a notice. Don't throw the game, throw Pokeballs instead. Why is that there? What does it mean? Nice bike, how's it handle? Oh, this guy's actually nice. See, the other guy was like, nice bike, hand it over, like he's trying to steal it from me. This guy just wants to know how it handles. This guy's just curious. He just has a hyperfixation on bikes. Good for him. Yumi grew to level 31, beating this guy's wheezing and is trying to learn Water Gun. Yeah, that's what I meant when I said we aren't going to be getting very many good Water-type moves pretty early on for Vaporeon. Bubble Beam is a better move, and we got that through TM. Oh, Muck! I'm not even gonna lie, I think this is one of the best sprites in Red and Blue. Muck has a really good sprite. Using Rest just to regain health there. Rest is actually a very useful move to have specifically on Cycling Road here. Just because all these Pokemon are going to be able to poison or paralyze you, Rest heals you to full health and gets rid of any status conditions other than sleep, I guess. So, yeah, Rest is just a good option to have here. And of course, it actually gets lucky with the 1 in 4 chance, disables Bubble Beam, and then it gets undisabled the very next turn. Okay. Shoot! True. The slope makes it hard to steer. That's true. Look at me trying to steer. I guess this isn't really steering so much as it is, like, riding uphill, which... I don't know. I've never actually known how to ride a bike. I used to ride a scooter to work when I was living in a place that was more, not shitty. But... I don't know. Riding uphill on a scooter is probably worse than on a bike, but I don't know. I can't say for sure because I've never ridden a bike for more than like 10 seconds, probably. Whew, good workout! Yumi grew to level 32 from beating this guy's last Pokemon. I'm sorry for cutting out so many battles here, but I think you understand why. We've already seen everything there is to see of these guys' teams. Speak of the devil. We're bikers! Highway stars! In fact, I think I'm gonna go ahead and speed up the remainder of Cycling Road just because I want to fight everyone for the experience, but these battles suck. Cycling Road slope ends here. Oh my god. Cycling Road is something else. They put this in like every game up until, I think, Generation 5 would have been the last Cycling Road. But that's still 4 generations where they thought, yeah, this is a fun thing. People riot if this isn't in the game. No pedestrians permitted. However, I had my magic bike. Excuse me. You need a bicycle for Cycling Road. Oh, that's different dialogue than the other guy had. We head up here. This guy. I'm looking for Slowbro. Want to trade one for Lickitung? We can't possibly have Slowbro. Why did you back away like that? We can't possibly have Slowbro yet, but that'll be something to keep in mind for later. Looked into the binoculars. There are people swimming. To the north? I guess that makes a little bit of sense on Cycling Road because it's suspended over water. Looking into the binoculars, Pallet Town is in the west. True, how can you see that when you were in a building? This doesn't make sense, man. Heading outside here. Route 18, Celadon City to Fuchsia City. Yeah, Fuchsia City is literally a few steps to the north-south, to the east from here. But there's even more trainers to fight here, and I think this is a trainer class we haven't actually seen yet. I always check every grassy area for new Pokémon. Okay, buddy. Bird Keeper. What Pokémon is that on his arm? Well, it's not Spearow, but we'll let him keep pretending. There's not really anything interesting to say about Bird Keepers. They just use bird Pokemon. I'll cut ahead to when he has a Pokemon I haven't seen yet, if he does. Oh, Fearow. Fearow has a, weird sprite in this game. I don't know why, but I really like it. But it's still a weird sprite. I like that its wings are surrounding its body like a cape. Okay, couldn't think of anything more polite to say. I wish I had a bike. You can have mine, it's just rotting in the PC. I have magic bike powers. This is my turf, get out of here. Okay. I'll get out of here after I rob you of all your money. Bird Keeper. Why doesn't anyone have names in this game? Oh! This guy has Dodrio! Dodrio has kind of a scary sprite in this game. I don't like that it has Five Nights at Freddy's eyes on all three heads, but I don't know. Dodrio's a cool Pokemon. Dodrio was actually a planned team member for a while on this Let's Play, but I decided against it at pretty much the last possible second when I realized I want to have at least one OU Pokemon. Which we don't have yet, but trust me, we will have an OU Pokemon. Yumi grew to level 33, and Pokemon gained levels all over the place while I was on Cycling Road. Nobody's learned anything, so it's not a huge deal. We already read the sign. We have made it, officially, to Fuchsia City, which is a nice shade of pink. I like this color. You want to head right down here right away to head to the Pokemon Center. There's a gym here, but we're not going to be taking that on quite yet. We are not strong enough for that. Heading in, I'm just going to go ahead and heal up real quick. So, we have made it to Fuchsia City, but we aren't actually going to be here for long. We do have another route to take, but before that, I want to head into this house. I'm the fishing guru's older brother. I simply love fishing. Do you like to fish? No game is good without fishing. Grand, I like your style. Take this and fish, young one. Good Rod. This opens up a lot of options for water types that we just didn't have with the old Rod, so that includes 2 that we can find here, and we'll go over other new encounters with the Good Rod as we come across them, but let's just go ahead and fish and talk about the new Pokemon we can find back here. After I reel one in. I said after I reel one in, and I'm sticking to it. I'm sticking to it, I said. There we go. It's a bite. Okay. Not the one I would want to appear first because of the order I'm doing these bios in, but here come the bios. Poliwag is yet another fast user of Hypnosis, similar to Ghastly. Its main game is using Hypnosis to put its foes to sleep, then setting up with Amnesia and sweeping with moves like Hydro Pump and Psychic. Now the issue is, Poliwag doesn't learn Amnesia until far after it's evolved already, and Poliwhirl has to wait 3 more levels than that. This family isn't bad, but unfortunately you just have to wait so long for their main draw to become available that it just doesn't end up being worth the wait in single player. You should still pick one up, though, for other reasons. Goldeen is just underwhelming. It's forgettable, it has bad stats, it learns hardly any moves that are worth talking about, and it doesn't evolve until level 33, when it's already horribly outclassed by almost every other water type available by that point. Its appearance in Smash Bros. May not be accurate from the standpoint that Goldeen doesn't learn Splash, but it's accurate from the standpoint that Goldeen is pretty useless. Is this gonna be the better Pokemon? Nope. I am doomed to forever only hook Goldines. That's tragic. Well, that's fine. The good rod is all I wanted to get here in Fuchsia City for now, so we're gonna go ahead and use Fly to Lavender Town. And I don't really... Well, I'll heal because I did use some PP for Confuse Ray. Let's not have Lavender Town's music on the end screen. Down here on Route 12 is our next destination. North to Lavender. True, we've already been there. With all that done, next time on Pokémon Generation 1, we're going to be heading south from Lavender to reach Fuchsia from the longer path. Yeah, and I thought Cycling Road already was a pretty long path. See you guys then.